Hello everyone, welcome to Technologies Discussion channel. Today, I'd like to continue the discussion on EMC consideration. For this video, I'm going to discuss what are the most commonly used EMC standard for a consumer electronics product. Okay, for example, you actually make a new product, and before you can actually sell this product in a particular region, for example, Europe or US, you need to ensure that your electronics product actually compliant to certain EMC standard. So this will be the objective of this video. You are going to understand what are the EMC standard that you need to compliant in order to have ability to start to sell the product in that particular region. So this will be the objective of this video. This will be the Part 45 series discussion on EMC consideration. If you're keen to know more about EMC, please take a look on the playlist under the description. Over there, you will find a series of discussion on EMC. This will deepen your knowledge on EMC. This is my email. If you have any question regards on today's discussion, please drop me an email. Before I continue, I'd like to urge you guys to support this channel by pressing the like and also the subscribe button. Please also turn on your notification bell in order to receive more information from this channel. Guys, please feel free to give me comment or maybe even suggestion what topics that you guys are keen so that the quality of this channel can be further improved. Once again, thank you so much for strong support. Okay, let's understand why we need to have EMC standard. Okay, all electrical and electronics device or even the installation, they basically influence each other when they are actually interconnected, okay, which means that they are connected to each other, or somehow when they are actually close to each other. So you learn in EMC, when they are connected, we call this under conducted. When they are actually close to each other, separate by air, okay, we basically use the word radiate. Okay, the purpose of EMC standard is to keep all those side effects under reasonable control. As I mentioned, when they are actually close to each other, they basically influence each other. And hence, we need to keep all these side effects under reasonable control, okay, by ensure the device does not generate over-excess electromagnetic interference. And also, we need to ensure that the device will not be affected by others' EMI. Okay, so basically, this will be the quick definition on EMC. Prior to supply your product to market, okay, you will need to perform EMC testing and show evidence of compliance with all relevant EMC standards applicable to your product for the target market. Okay, for example, if you target for Europe, okay, you need to ensure that you actually comply to all the EMC standards that actually set up by the Europe. Okay, if you target to go into US, you need to ensure that all this EMC standard is actually compliant according to the FCC standard. Okay, so why we need to have all this EMC standard? Okay, this is to ensure that all products are safe, okay, before they actually reach the end user. To keep compliance with EMC standard, okay, manufacturer actually implement EMI, electromagnetic interference reduction technique. Okay, for example, they reduce the EMI basically by having a proper grounding. Okay, they also have some filtering process, or maybe they even have this shield, okay, against the interference, so as to ensure to keep all those EMI within acceptable level. Manufacturer also ensure that products are tested under the various electromagnetic environment mentioned in the specific EMC standard. Okay, under this EMC standard, besides mention how you test, okay, they actually also mention what are the type of environment that you're supposed to test. Okay, so later on, I will show an example, okay, basically under this environment. Okay, the failure rate of EMC compliant product due to electromagnetic disturbance is low. Following EMC standard boasts customer trust in product and also the manufacturer. Okay, so basically this is the quick definition, okay, why we need to have EMC standard. Basically, the user will have high confidence on our product and also build a good reputation on the manufacturer. Additionally, EMC standardized testing procedure for measuring EMI so that repeatability and also comparison ground are established for measurement. Okay, many times you probably heard that how can we actually repeat an experiment? It's very crucial to be able to repeat a EMC test and measurement. Okay, so therefore, repeatability is a big issue on EMC. And also, we also need to compare from different ground, which means that, for example, we move from test house to test house. Okay, all the results, okay, they must be still relevant. It cannot be when I actually at this test house, I pass all the tests. When I actually shift to another test house, all the tests off here. So basically, there will be some means to do some comparison. Okay, so therefore, we need to have this EMC standard to ensure, okay, there will be sufficient ground to establish for comparison purpose. I'm going to show you the most commonly used EMC standard for a consumer electronic product which does not have any wireless communication functionality, okay, which means that all the RF emission are all unintended. Okay, for example, I built a EUT. Okay, so this is a new product that I actually built. Okay, so this EUT don't have any form of wireless communication, okay, which means that they don't actually radiate to establish communication. Okay, which means that also they are actually so-called standalone. Okay, so typically for a EUT, there will be a cable that connected to the power supply. Okay, so on the right of this product basically will be the source of power. Basically, let's say that they actually require AC to power up this product. So there will be a cable, okay, basically to bring the power supply from the AC all the way to the product. On the other side, okay, we actually has this input and output port. Okay, for example, this product is actually connected to another device. So hence we have another cable that link this product to another product. So what are the possible EMC test and measurement? Okay, for example, let's understand what is called conductor immunity. Okay, when we actually mention conductor, this actually happen on the cable itself. When we mention immunity, okay, which means that we actually send an electromagnetic wave to disturb your EUT. And basically, we want to determine whether your EUT still can function as normal or not. So basically, this is the definition of conductor immunity. Next, we also have this conductor emission, okay, which means that any electronic product, okay, when they actually function, they basically emit out some form of emission. And we want to measure how much emission is actually through the cable. So hence, therefore, this is called conductor emission. On the other side of the cable, you have the same thing as conductor immunity and also conductor emission. The definition is the same, except that they actually monitor the input and output port, while this basically monitor from the power source, okay, the conductor immunity and also the conductor emission. What else we have? Okay, we also have the radiate immunity, okay, which means that we actually transmit an electromagnetic wave through the air and basically disturb your EUT, and we would like to see whether your EUT still can function or not. So basically, this is fall under radiate immunity. We have a source, basically quite a fair distance away from the product, 3 meters, let's say. Basically, they radiate an electromagnetic wave. Okay, this wave hit the EUT, and I'm going to see whether this EUT can function or not. So basically, this fall under the radiate immunity. Next, okay, will be radiate emission. As I mentioned earlier on, any electronic product, they basically capable to do emission. Over here, you can see that this is basically emission through the cable. But over here, you can see that basically they radiate the emission through the air. So it's slightly different. This is basically through the air, while this is basically through the cable. So therefore, this part here, we call it under radiate emission. And last but not least, okay, we also do some testing on the so-called the casing of the product. Okay, for example, the ESD. Okay, so basically we shoot a ESD onto the product and we see whether the product will be reset or still can function normally. So in short, okay, so this will be all the tests that will be conducted to an electronic product without any wireless communication. On the next video, I'm going to describe all these tests one by one so that you will have a better picture what are the EMC standard for a consumer electronics product. But over here, you have a better idea. So these are all the essential tests good to do, okay, on an electronics product. With this, I'd like to end my discussion. Please help to like and subscribe. Once again, thank you so much for strong support. I hope to see you soon. Bye for now. Thank you so much.